I'm Porter William and welcome to Entertaining People. It's winter here in San Francisco, but today it's winter in Provence with amazing Shanks. Look at this, it's coming right off the foot. Gourmet mushroom selections of stuff that's just going to absolutely make your mouth water right now on Entertaining People, San Francisco style. I'm Porter William, and I've been entertaining, event planning, and cooking for over 25 years. Finally, I get to share my secrets with you. No matter if you have a one-room apartment or a grand scale estate, we'll learn how to entertain from San Francisco to the beaches of Spain, from menu planning to tablescapes. I'll teach you how to entertain from the heart. From a memory, make a memory. Join me as we entertain the world one table at a time, next on Entertaining People. Welcome to Provence, or maybe I should say Entertaining People. On this episode, it's winter in Provence, and we have a big, heavy meal prepared for a table of 6. A few friends of mine are on their way over, and of course, everything is from a memory. You know, I'm never without bacon. I'm going to add some bacon right here to a braising pan, and I'm starting the biggest portion, which is these fantastic pork shanks. Now, if you're wondering where this beautiful piece of meat comes from, the truth is it comes from the foot. That's what a shank is. Now, most people use a lamb or a veal shank, but a pork shank is a fantastic economical way to make a really glamorous dinner. Typically $9, $10, $12 a pound. These pork shanks, if you have your butcher cut them, will be about $1.49 depending on where you are. So all the meat for 6 people that you see here was less than $10. First thing I'm doing is sauteing some bacon in my braising pan. And then I have my washed, cleaned, and seasoned shanks, and I'm going to dust them with just a little bit of flour right over the top. We're going to brown these in the bottom of our pan. I'll add a little bit of olive oil to the bacon grease, and that really makes a great base to get some flavor out of these shanks. We want them to be crispy and brown, one by one, and I just like to dust and turn. If you use a cookie sheet like this, you can get all sides done very easily and lay that fantastic shank right down. Did you hear that sizzle? That's exactly what we're looking for. Continue to put the number of shanks that you have, 1 per person. I know these look large, but they really are going to bake down. They're going to fall off the bone. It is so good. Continue adding those until your pot is full. And now, some seasoning. We've got our fresh cracked pepper, just a little bit more. Some beautiful salt. And I'll add a little bit of olive oil. We'll be right back. Entertaining People, San Francisco style. I've grabbed a clean cookie sheet because you never want to combine where you've had pork with something that's not clean. Let's see how those are going. Listen to that sound. Okay, that's the brown that you're looking for. I'm going to put my clean sheet right on top of there. We're going to flip those. Absolutely beautiful. I remember being in Provence with my importing business so many winters. If you've never been there, perhaps you've read A Year in Provence, a great book. And we talk about the mistral and the wind that just roars and chills for days on end. This really reminds me of this very big, bold dinner. We're going to have these fantastic, almost ossobuco style shanks with a creamy, cheesy polenta, a cheese course at the end, an apple galette. You're going to love this. These are really just about ready. Last one is nice and brown. And I'm going to remove all the shanks. 1 per person. I know these look huge, but these really keeps for many, many days if you'd like to have some leftovers and send your guests home with one. In the same pan, in the same grease, we're going to add our mirepoix, which is the Holy Trinity. We have our carrots, and we have our onions, and we have our celery. Now, mirepoix is found in many cultures. Of course, we have it in Creole cooking. This is going to be the base of our red sauce. This just needs about a minute, not even, maybe 30 seconds of stirring this around so that we're just going to get these wilted, and slightly soft. Let me just see if you can see that there. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, all those flavors add intensity and density, and then as those are sweating, we're gonna add our Shanks right back in, right on top of our mirepoix. I like to kind of stand it up here so they look really beautiful and they all fit in your pan. Look at that. Oh. This is going to cook anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. The great thing about working with a shank is that the longer you cook it, the more tender it is. At this point, we're going to start adding some liquids and elements that are going to really make it wonderful. I like whole stewed tomatoes, and I just crush them right in my hands. You can squirt like being in 3rd grade again. Just put those over, sauce and all. Look how red that is. Look at that color in there. We got 1 or 2 coming right back. In the winter, you have to use canned tomatoes. Just don't use a bad tomato. It's easier to buy really great canned brands. And this is a finger dish, about 10 to 15 whole cloves of garlic right on top. And one of my personal little elements is gorgeous, gorgeous Mediterranean pitted olives. We're just gonna put those, including the juices. Any brine vinegar that's in there is gonna make it even more dense and more flavorful. As we let this continue to cook, I'm gonna top this with some beautiful golden raisins. Now you can start to feel some of the influences from the Mediterranean coming up from Barcelona and the edge of the Med all the way into Provence. It's only about 25-30 minutes driving from deep in Provence at Les Baux that will get you to all of these flavors. We're going to add some wonderful thyme right on top. And after this cooks down for just a few minutes, I'm going to slice and put some beautiful half lemons on here. The topping element, we never forget, a beautiful French red wine, and this takes about a half a bottle to a bottle. I want the braise to come 3/4 up on everything I have in my pan. I'm using a gorgeous Médoc right here. I love this product and I love this depth of these Bordeaux flavors that are in there. Look at that, it's fantastic. We're gonna cover and we'll visit this back in just about 5 minutes. So, wind is blowing in Mistral, the freezing cold wind in Provence. And there's that bowl I was looking for, so easy. 2 lemons, slice, citrus in the summer grows all throughout Provence. And now you can get it, we're gonna squeeze one. We're gonna squeeze another one. Don't worry about those seeds. They're all gonna be soft by the time it comes to the table. And then we're gonna set those right in there. Now, time to correct some seasoning. What I've got in my salt bar is a beautiful smoked Mediterranean salt. Lots of salt in this. Think how big those shanks are. And then we've got our pepper already in. I never stop without just a little bit more wine. And this is going in. We're gonna reduce the heat, high oven to start, down to about 275, 2 to 3 hours. We'll be right back.
Great, thanks. Yeah, thank you. I know, good to see you.
Hi, it's Porter William, and we're back with entertaining people. I've got my great friend Stephanie here with me today. She's a big cook, and we're gonna start with our winter in Provence. Guess what I'm doing?
What?
Cat champignon. Cat means 4 in French. I'm thinking wintry and wonderful, so I've got some chanterelles.
Gorgeous. What is
How
this?
gorgeous. This is chanterelle. These are
Beautiful.
just 4 wonderful kinds, trumpet mushrooms, anything that we can find that's available in winter, and all we're gonna do is just chop these up. So why don't you grab a knife?
Okay.
We're gonna pop the stems off each one of these.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna do a rough chop and we're gonna go right into the saute.
All right.
Just pop the bottoms off.
I'm just chopping.
What was the recipe you made from last season? Was it the grilled peach?
The grilled peaches were fabulous.
That was such a hit. And I think you did it with a
salad.
with a salad. Garlic cloves that are going into our mushroom mix. I think these last ones. So here's my idea. I'm going to have these individual cassoulets while you keep chopping.
Okay.
And every person's going to open each one and it's going to steam out. This is sold in your dairy department, crock of butter. It comes right out and you save them for later. You can buy the refills for the butter.
Fabulous.
But they're wonderful, oven proof. And I'm going to use them and we're going to fill them. So I've been collecting them. Do you remember when you were a kid and you used to go to the gas station, you get the commemorative sets of
Yes,
glasses?
I do.
My mother kept going in and out of those gas stations. And in this day and age, you know, when you're entertaining a lot, you've got to be smart with it. Let me grab a towel from you, right behind you. Get these beautiful mushrooms going. Woo!
So good.
Look at that. Okay. And a little bit more.
A little more.
I'm going to go right in with the whole bit.
Garlic.
Yep. One big toss. Now all we're trying to do is get these coated. We're going to cook these in the oven, actually. There we go. Staff. I'm just going to fill each cassoulet with their own set of beautiful winter mushrooms.
That looks so good.
Doesn't it sound just warm and enticing? Get in here. 3 and 4. When you're at home, we'll just put some thyme on each.
Okay.
And here comes the fun. Champignon, champagne, and du beurre, right? So a little bit more champagne on each of our mushroom cassoulets. Oh, there's the thyme right there. Beautiful. Pop those off the tray. Now I'm making these on the same baking sheet that I'm actually going to put them in the oven with. Little salt and pepper, and I'm going to use a French fleur de sel. I know you know this is the best, most delicate salt. Just a dab of butter on each one with my hands, just like that. 1, 2, 3, and we'll get some right off the top. I love these big old hunks of butter. One more right there. I'm going to top with our remaining juices. It's okay if it spills over. I like it to kind of look like French onion soup, just really rustic and comfortable. There we go. A little bit more. Fire off, and we will cover these.
How long are you going to cook those?
10 to 15 minutes, really, really low heat until they just start sweating. I'm going to pop these in, and we're going to go right onto our polenta. All right, I'm going to pull the polenta close.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to let you help me.
All right.
Wonderful cornmeal, and go ahead, just pour that in slowly, slowly, slowly. Now with polenta, it's important not to have lumps. A little bit more, give it a shake. There you go. Okay, shake. It's really important not to have lumps of this. There you go, come on. You can do it. There you go.
There we go.
All right, now we're 1 to 4, 4 to 1. That's good, that's good.
Keep going.
That's good. Stop, stop, stop. That's good. Okay, so when you get your polenta in your pan, this is the consistency that you're looking for. Steph, grab me a big old hunk of butter off of that with that knife right there. Just grab any knife.
How much?
Just a big old hunk, big hunk. Twice that. Go
Twice
ahead,
that size.
slide it in there.
All right.
Just put it in there. Perfect.
There you go.
We're gonna whip some butter in there. Look at that. A little bit more butter.
Okay.
Okay, it's getting thick in here, which means it's time to start adding some liquid. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and put in a beautiful, rich Parmesan Reggiano. Can you say it with me?
Parmigiano Reggiano.
There it is. Okay, that's why I always have friends and guests on entertaining people. We're just going to mix that up, and then at this point, we'll move to a wooden spoon.
Okay.
We'll cream it up,
right.
and we'll come back with a little bit of. There you go. We can do that. We'll beat this up. I'm going to add just a little bit of cream to lighten up this polenta. And we'll be right back. Say we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Entertaining people, San Francisco style. Well, from the kitchen into the dining room, we've made it to the heart of Provence tonight. I'm Porter William, and this is the ultimate dinner party with 6 great friends. You can't start a dinner party with Provence without some really good French. It's a Médoc, and here's what I want you to know about this. This bottle is under $10 a bottle. You can pour it all night long to your heart's delight and your friend's delight and you. Thanks for the help in the kitchen. Just one last splash. Okay, so first course up, it's a 4 mushroom catcache champignon. I know you speak some French. We ran into each other in the flea markets in Paris one night. Look at this, ready? Reveal. What a great muse to start. And now it's my turn. I finally get to eat with my friends. So here's to everybody at the table. Salut, welcome to Winter in Provence. Salut, San Francisco style. Here it is, Our amazing pork shanks a la Provence. Look at this, don't you feel like Fred Flintstone with these bones right here? A creamy, creamy, gooey polenta. We're gonna put it in the bottom of the plate, then we're gonna stand these up. I have dark olives, roasted lemons, blonde raisins, a whole bottle of red. Dessert is served. Winter in Provence. This is an antique wine barrel top. Isn't that great? I'm using it as a cheese board. And for each of you, your own cloche en verre, a bell covered with glass. Reach in and grab it. We're being casual here. And what I have is this beautiful rustic apple galette. Just a tart, just to finish off this great big meal. So you have a little piece of galette with amaretto on it, creme fraiche, and of course a mini cheese course, just a dry French cheese, which is gonna make a perfect finish this night. From deep in the heart of Provence and from my heart to yours, thanks for joining us this time on Entertaining People. What a great party we've had. To Chris and Gina and Stephanie and Christine and John, throw this party in your house. It brings Provence right to the heart, right here in San Francisco. We'll see you next time. I'm going to the party.